Good morning. It's Monday, start of a new week, and I hope it's off to a great start for those who are awake. Um, and for those who have been awake, in different parts of the world, I hope you're having a great day. Um, yep, it's just about 5, a little after 5, 5:05. Um, and I just now finished my writing for the morning. Normally it's finished a bit earlier, and I've reviewed, for the most part, what I'm going to read. So I actually thought about reading something other. Thought about maybe reading some Rumi this morning, but I'm going to give this a shot. This is called Vulnerable, and it's about ducks. So let's give it a shot, see how it goes. Vulnerable. There's only a few ducks at my neighborhood pond, a small population that seem quite fragile to me and giving me concern for their well-being. Once they were thriving in numbers here, staying through all seasons and always the arrival of newly hatched in the spring. Yet now there's less than a dozen, and I often find them retreated further upstream, into the woods, spending less time in the pond, which is now dominated by geese. I certainly don't mind geese. They're beautiful birds, strong in flight and water. But ducks always seem vulnerable in comparison. Ducks stir my deepest compassion and concern. They always have. Canadian geese are quite aggressive this time of year, rightfully so, as they protect their young within even the smallest infraction of distance, giving cause for alarm and sometimes a confrontation. My entire walks are often rerouted to avoid these issues. It's just easier than upsetting an entire gaggle, especially when they're happily feeding along the pond's shore, and it's only a few extra steps along my way. I have no issue ceding space to a protective mother and her mate. But ducks seem to lack this aggression, although I'm sure they're quite protective of their brood as well. To me, ducks are a shyer species, seeking a more peaceful area to raise their young and avoiding any confrontations. It's that vulnerability that stirs my concern. Seeing just a few further up a stream, surrounded by any number of predators from air and land, as well as water. But of course, ducks are perfectly suited to their environment, being able to take care of themselves and not really needing any of my concern. Yes, they're vulnerable, often exposed to great risk, and yet mostly they thrive in these conditions, having developed a predation avoidance system of sleeping with one eye open, one brain hemisphere being watchful of any danger, while the other remains completely at rest. I think this is what ducks show me, the spirituality of being watchful and at ease, mindful of every aspect of life, but without adding any tension. Ducks teach me that it's okay to be vulnerable, more so, that I'm perfectly at home within my own environment, watchful and at ease. That's it, guys. A little rough, needs a little polishing, but I think the essence is there. A lot of these writings are shamanic in nature. That when I go outside, when I go in nature, especially in the early mornings, when it's much more solitary, it's me and the ducks, it's me and the geese, it's me and the owls. I see foxes, I see deer, rabbits. Rabbits spark my concern and compassion as well. Seem like such vulnerable creatures, although they blend in to their environment. Perfect at hiding, extremely fast. Nature takes care of itself. It doesn't need my concern. Not in that extent. It needs my protection from myself. It needs my protection from my own feelings of not being suited to the environment, changing the environment to suit me. And that's what we tend to do with nature. However, this isn't a lecture, it's just a reading. But I do want to address real quick, being vulnerable doesn't mean being weak. That's what ducks teach me. There's strength in that vulnerability. You just have to put yourself out there to the world, knowing that sometimes you can be at risk. There's really no choice. That's really the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita as well. We give ourselves to action. As Krishna says to Arjuna, you have the right to your action, but not to their fruition. That belongs to God, whatever your concept of God is. With that, my friends, I'm going out for my walk. Going to greet the sunrise. Hope you all have a great day. I'll be back later. Going to do some burpees, and I'll be doing a live session about 1 o'clock. So if you guys are around, come on by. Take care.